Is it working? These things always make me nervous because I can't tell if people are watching me already. But if you are, hello everyone, it's Alyson Stoner here. Welcome to the Facebook live chat for Back to Church. My new song that dropped today worldwide. If you have a chance, you should check it out. The video is on YouTube and songs on iTunes, and I'm calling it Another Side of Me because I don't know, it's a lot more personal, and I think it's a little more controversial probably than my other music, especially with a word like church in the title. So I'm here to chat with you all. You can ask me anything about the song. I can share the story behind it and all of that. Thank you so much. I see you guys coming in already. Thank you for watching Camp Rock. It's an oldie but a goodie. Thanks, John. I see that. And thank you, Joanna. I actually will be working with Kurt in the coming week for an exciting new project, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Zoltan, is that how you pronounce that? What a cool name. Yeah, hey Sarah. She said, I'd love to hear the story behind it. So you have to go with me because it's a little more intense. It's not necessarily the happiest story. I was going through a season of just becoming more honest with myself, I guess, and I discovered some darker, messier sides, and then I brought them up to my core community, thinking they would support me, and they verbally damned me to hell for being honest about who I was. And that was really shocking because I realized in my most vulnerable time, when I'm wrestling with things that I don't understand, that I did not ask for, the people who I once trusted are now rejecting me. So I found myself being drawn to another group of people who I was once told might be bad influences or they were lost souls, and yet something was much more attractive, and it was their honesty. It was their genuineness about their mess, about their imperfections. And so I found myself, questioning how I was raised and what I, even taught myself to believe, ideas I had created to make myself feel safe, to survive pressures of whatever. And I had to really take a hard look. And it turns out that my old worldview did not really have the flexibility and the space for life experience. So when life happened, I had to make a choice to either face it or deny it. And so the song Back to Church came about when I was exploring these other sides that are less than perfect, but I needed a place where I could be fully human without judgment. I could be accepted for being truthful and not hide behind an image or a facade. So with the video, I created a literal concrete jungle. A concrete jungle to represent sort of the underground street styles of dance, as opposed to like very polished choreography, which is my background. And I wanted to explore just like spontaneous creativity, the raw, untamed sides, have some dancers that are more eccentric and animalistic and off the cuff, so it's not just fitting into one mold, because if we're all truthful, I think, we're all unique and we don't perfectly fit any mold. But that's what makes us beautiful, right? So Back to Church is about entering that world and just being open to whatever you find and not trying to decide if it's right or wrong, but just first examining what is and giving that space. So I love this song because I think it'll start a good dialogue, and I really want to hear from all of you, because I think we're all brought up with so many different beliefs, and we can become judgmental towards other people, or even I, thought I was welcoming other people, but I really wasn't. I was scared to think or believe the wrong thing. And I would love, to be able to start a conversation so that we can have more compassion and understanding for each other, for people who are brought up thinking differently than us, and for even our own changes we go through. And then, of course, on top of it all, production-wise, I love the beat. It's, totally dance pop. Like, you can listen to it at the club, you can listen to it at home getting ready, you can play it in the car. I love the chant that, oh, it's so good, it gets stuck in your head. And yeah, let me see. Art meeting spirituality is you, your evolution and thoughts are helpful. From Chinmay, that means so much. That is exactly, ooh, it makes me emotional, exactly the journey. I love the quote, and I just saw it on, I think Camila, am I saying that correctly, from Fifth Harmony. She posted it from Cesar A. Cruz. Art should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. I loved that, because I found, like, that's the journey I was going through. Suddenly, the creepier, the more eerie things that I found in some of the art pieces actually reflected some of the mess I was experiencing. Whereas before, I used to be like, oh, no, I don't want to be associated. So letting art reflect the sort of spiritual transformation, just personal evolution, is exactly the journey. And I hope that it continues to bring more and more understanding and compassion, and just space for everyone to be included. I see Aline saying, I love Fifth Harmony. Me too. I just got to meet them at the Radio Disney Music Awards, and they were so friendly, so kind, so talented. I heard them singing in the hallway, and they were singing Rihanna's song Work, and they just break out literally into perfect harmony. It's like, you guys, you're the real deal. So that was awesome. Adam, you said this is at Six Flags. Do you remember I met your mom and told her I was a huge fan? Hey! Nice to see you on here. That's awesome. Thank you so much for continuing to support and check in. That means a lot. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're chatting about my new song, Back to Church. It's out on iTunes and YouTube. The video is super cool. It's like a concrete jungle set on an LA rooftop. So you have to check it out on my YouTube. And make sure, if you guys aren't following me on social media, it's not just to get more followers, it's actually to be able to keep you updated with all the different kinds of posts, because I post different things on each thing. So like Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, those are all Alyson Stoner, ALYSONSTONER. Another really cool thing I have happening while you guys are tuned in, Macy's and iHeartRadio have this Rising Star competition, and I'm a top 25 finalist, which is really exciting. The winner, I think this is the most exciting part, gets to open iHeartRadio Festival in Vegas. And it's based on voting, and you can vote 50 times a day. So the links are on Twitter, and I think we have one on Instagram. I think we'll post some stuff here, but if we actually win this, I think as you vote, you also enter for a chance to win tickets to go to the concert. So please, I think it would be really cool. Obviously, I'm performing music more and more, and an opportunity like this would be really awesome. So yeah, you can vote up to 50 times a day, and it's super easy. You just click, 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 click. So I want to open up some questions here. Question is, what inspires you to dance? That's a great question, because it has changed dramatically, and it actually ties in perfectly with the song Back to Church. So I grew up in studio environments, very calculated, rehearsed pieces that are incredible, but I didn't learn how to I guess, express my own language of dance until maybe a couple years ago when I entered the underground freestyle world. So in the music video for Back to Church, nearly all the movement I'm doing except for the end section is freestyle. And what inspires me now is truly connecting to the music, truly thinking about sharing, giving instead of taking. I dance now not for someone to celebrate me, but because I want to bring them joy or I want to make them feel something. And that's just, it's so much more freeing. You don't have to plan or worry about others' judgment and opinions and approval. And you can mess up as much as you want because it's not about being perfect. So that's really freeing. I see you, Jarvis. Appreciate it. Compassion for all, though. We all need compassion. So, wants to know what inspires you to dance, and says, with love from Australia. I love Australia. I hope to tour there. It's one of my favorite places. Ahmad wants to know if the song has a video. Yes. You can go on youtube.com/thereal Alyson Stoner, or just type in Back to Church Alyson Stoner, and it'll come up on YouTube. Let's see, what else? Amber from Pennsylvania, what up, girl? Shout out. Hope you're doing well. Harvey World, I see you. Shout out, shout out. Tasmaya? Hi there, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, John, I appreciate it. Let's see, what like you in dance? Thank you. What's your definition of compassion? Not based off the dictionary, but your definition of compassion. Good question. I guess I'll just speak from my own experience. When I was rejected for being honest about myself, I learned what I wish I would have experienced from the people who said they loved me. And I think compassion is, it's just, I guess it's giving someone a hug no matter what they say or do to you as your first initial reaction, to break the ice and the judgment and the coldness, and to at least initiate a conversation before you cement an opinion. And compassion is just heaps and heaps of space and grace, like so much space for people to be fully human. We really don't know what people are going through. We don't know what they believe, what they think, what matters to them, what's happening in their day. I really wish there was more compassion in the world. Hey to Chicago, Scott. I love Chicago. I'm from Ohio, not too far. Can you say my brother? Yeah, from Harvey. Young Cotty Williams. What's up, Harvey? Richard, I did get your fan mail. I have it signed. It's ready to mail. I just have to make sure it gets in the mail eventually. It's been a little bit crazy. If y'all are tuning in, this is the Back to Church Q&A. Back to Church is my new single. My first single was called Woman, and this song is a little edgier, darker. Still dance pop. You can get down to it anywhere. And if you're just tuning in, it was inspired during a time when I was verbally damned to hell by my core community for being honest about some struggles I was having. And instead of, rejecting them back, I thought, no, I just need to re-examine some things because love covers it all. So Back to Church is about getting super raw, gritty, messy, and facing all the sides of yourself and being able to accept that. And just live authentically, really. Not try and cover up the bumps. Hey, Switzerland! Hi, Jared. I hope you're doing well. That's awesome. Um, Dance for us. I wish. I'm actually, funny story, I'm doing this Q&A from my best friend's dorm room in Minnesota for her graduation. So after this live chat, I'm going to the ceremony to see her graduate, which is super exciting. Thank you, Jael, JL. I appreciate that and fully trust and believe it. So grateful, so grateful. I don't want to say your address, but I see it. I want you to stay safe. Let's see. Thank you, Tammy, for the lip color comment. I appreciate it. It was whatever was cheapest at the store, to be honest. Brady would like to know what you would recommend to someone who would like to start dancing, learning, practicing. Comes from a guy who seriously loved watching people have fun dancing and has always dreamt of dancing. Great question. For me, it's important to spend time with yourself, getting to know your body. So just start experimenting with shapes. Sometimes when you put on a song, think about 3 shapes. Let's say triangle, circle, square. Then start playing with different joints in your body. You have, your fingers, your wrists, elbows, shoulders, and obviously legs, everything. And start creating those 3 shapes in different orders. And then you'll find that you're beginning to create your own language of movement. So I can do circle here with my finger, or I can do a circle with my shoulder, or I can make a circle with my wrists like that. So start playing around with that, and just start falling in love with music, and let yourself dance how you want to dance. It's perfectly beautiful. It does not have to conform to anyone else's style. It's mostly about confidence and being connected to the music. So just really let yourself sink in. And of course, if you're doing, hip hop, starting with the rock is always good. And that's just loose neck, body going back and forth. You can really play around and grow a ton from just that foundational move. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate it. Jazzy, when did you start to dance? I was 3 years old, but I didn't start to freestyle until about 2 years ago. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Mexico. Hey, I'm learning Spanish, so next time I visit you, hopefully we can chat. Who is the next artist or actor you would like to work with? Good question. Actor. I would love to do a movie with Emma Watson. She's the bomb. What is your drive for perfection? I'm not driven to be perfect. I once was, but I don't think it was healthy. I'm not driven to be perfect now. I'm driven to be honest, loving, compassionate, creative, and sincere. I think those are a little bit softer, and they create more space for growth and goodness and positive transformation, encouragement. Perfectionism can run you to the ground pretty quickly, at least in my experience. Let's see. Jennifer wants to know if you're going on tour. I am. It's not set in stone yet, so I can't really share anything, but I think, hopefully, as soon as this summer, I might be on a tour. Jojo, I see you. Jojo Grooves is in the building. He's one of my favorite dancers. Thank you, I appreciate it. Who or what gives you motivation? Something that's been really inspiring for me is traveling, because you get to see how life is done in a million different ways. and you realize the things that you cling to and think are, the only way things can get done are really, that's not the reality. Life is so broad, and experiences are so broad. So what motivates me is, I guess, finding what connects us, to bridge the gap between people who may not normally speak to each other, but through art or through, a conversation, they can find friendship, they can find support. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the live chat for Back to Church, my new single. It's out on iTunes, it's out on YouTube. And also, if you didn't hear before, I am a top 25 finalist in the Macy's iHeartRadio Rising Star competition. So be sure you can vote up to 50 times a day just by click, click, click. It's super quick. And if I win, then I get to perform and open the iHeartRadio Festival in Vegas. So that would be awesome. Let's see if we can band together. Check that out. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are loving the video and loving the song. Yassine asks, do you believe in love? Oh my gosh. It's the only thing that keeps me going. But love comes in a billion ways and forms. And I've been learning that more and more as of late. Thank you, Jojo. So much love. Patricia, any more Step Up movies in the future? If they're making them, hopefully I get to be a part of them, but I have no idea what storyline they can make up after 5 of them. There are 5. Let's see. What differentiates your music and what unites it? I'm not sure I understand the question or the context, but what I love about my music that I'm releasing now is it's ultra percussive. I like to call it global pop because I think the grooves are for everyone, no matter where you're from. And obviously each song means a lot to me, so it's not really a mindless pop song, even if the lyrics are simple. It's pretty well thought out. Then what unites it? I guess it's the beat, it's the rhythm, it's the instruments, it's the way they're played. I use a lot of live instrumentation, so these musicians come in here and into the studio, and they have incredible gifts, and they share, and that's forever captured for us to listen to and feel. So I think that's very unifying. Did you enjoy filming the Camp Rock movie? Ren asks. Yes. It was one of the earlier films. I've done, over 40 movies now, which is crazy. But Camp Rock was an earlier one. And what an honor to have been able to work with, Demi and the boys at an earlier stage in their careers. And now look at them. It's incredible. Will you make your own dance movie? I would love to, Desi asked. I would love to. I have some ideas for one. Let's see here. Any other questions? If you could spend the rest of your life doing one, singing, dancing, or acting, which would you choose? You guys, I hate these forced choice questions. I would probably do a musical where I could do all 3 of them. So, boom. Oh, I love that. When you guys are having a rough day, you listen to my music and it cheers you up. That's really awesome. That's so cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun are we going to have on our first date? Derek asks. Probably 25. Because I don't really have lame dates. I'm not about being bored. If you can't keep up with me, though, I might have to say deuces. So you better keep the adventure going wherever we're headed. That's what music is about for me anyway. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. I appreciate that. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. How's your morning or afternoon going? Great. I am in Minnesota for my friend's graduation. So excited. She's graduating nursing school. So I told her when I go on tour, she can be the set medic, make sure everyone is safe. Brian says you should come out and play paintball. I've never been. It sounds very painful, but I'm in. Lillian says, I would love to see you in another music video with the one and only Missy. Me too. We should start a petition. Jermaine says, what's been the best date you have been on? So it was, I guess, my first date that I ever went on, with my first boyfriend, Chris. He cooked and we had like a beach picnic, but what was really special is we had been on a hike previously and we found this Australian coin, and of course, knowing me, I dropped it and lost it, but he actually went back the next day, back to the mountain, and like walked the same path in order to find where I dropped it, and then he had it made into a necklace. So that was pretty romantic. It's hard to beat. Taylor says, I went to Six Flags with you. Aw. Also, will you marry me? It's a little early for that, but I'll think about it. Thank you guys so much. These are so cool to see. India tuning in. Is it Sayan? What a beautiful name. Sandra says, have you ever been to Paris? I have. I went when I was 3 years old. I used to speak French a little bit. Brady says, if they were to make more step-up movies, would there be a particular direction you want Camille to go? Yeah, like, let her dance. Jeez, let's be honest. What do you love about doing voiceovers? While voiceovers appear to be super easy and fun, recently I've been doing like new voices for new shows that aren't just my natural voice, and it's really challenging to learn like mic technique and how to experiment with different like parts, like different tones, different speech patterns. Yeah, it's fun, but it's kind of hard. What's your mind-like thought process when trying to create new choreography? Ryan asked. Do you see a move in your head before it comes out? And from what perspective do you see it? That is an incredible artistic question. I grew up actually fully envisioning the routine in my head without even doing the moves in person. And I would see them done from a camera shooting into a mirror, seeing me dance in the room, which is really odd, right? Now, I actually like to tape myself freestyling, and I create routines based off of the natural movement, because it becomes to me a little more spontaneous. So, yeah, that's the process. Any plans to do a show in Hawaii? I would love that! Also, McKenna, thank you so much for being so active. I see you posting things on Twitter and all of that. It means a lot just to know you all are involved and following everything. Oh, awesome! Used to take classes with Lindsay and I at Millennium. Lindsay's still teaching that class at Millennium. Let's see. Any other questions? So if you're at Shashank says, what's your secret to be happy? Here's my secret. I'm not happy all the time. I'm very human. I feel like every day I have about 30 to 40 different emotions. But in the darkest moments, I'm able to recognize light and be grateful for the beauty that is around me. And in the brightest moments, I'm able to recognize that there are still, there's still pain and sadness. So it's a little bittersweet. It's maybe not like perfectly sunny all the time, but it's far more grounded. And somehow that kind of creates a new sort of happiness and acceptance. Yeah, I guess I'm strange in that way. So if you're just tuning in, this is the Back to Church live Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. Back to Church, if you guys weren't here in the beginning, was actually inspired during a time when I was becoming a little more honest with myself and seeing some of my own flaws. And then I brought them up to my core community and, asked questions for help as I was wrestling with them. And instead of being supported, I was rejected. And I realized, I need a space where I can be fully human and accepted so that I can truly grow and pursue truth and goodness and love, but also not deny that I'm struggling with things. So the song Back to Church is it's about the raw, untamed honesty. It's about, the impulsive, darker, messier sides, but also this whole other palette of beauty that you find when you're super authentic. The video, which is on YouTube, it's a literal concrete jungle, because that's where a lot of, street styles originated, a lot of culture, style, flavor. So instead of being super polished and like pop culture and gimmicky, perfectly choreographed, we have a lot of freestylers in the video who are super eccentric, but like also so inspiring. They're so good. You have to check out the video. And the song's a dance song, so you can listen to it wherever, whenever. So please check it out on iTunes and YouTube. Show some support. And thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate that. And the prayer is mutual. Joy is a beautiful, beautiful gift, and it's so available to all of us. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Sarah Bareilles is a great example of someone who just stayed true to who she is. I've heard some great things about her playing small venues in New York, and it's just inspiring when artists are not trying to like only do things for people's approval, but they're paying attention to what's happening on the inside and letting that be brought to fruition. Derek, oh, so much love, so much love, so much love to you. Love you back. It's so awesome to see you. Jennifer, yes, there are so many people saying on different posts that they're using a photo of me as a child and saying that I died a tragic death. Well, I'm here to prove you wrong. So, let's see. Your songs are what provide light to the dark. Thank you so much, Brian. I hope so. And I hope for those who are experiencing pain but feel like some people always want to make it seem like everything's good. I hope that the songs that have a little more depth and a little more grit to them, you can identify and relate to, because life has a lot of colors, and all of them are okay. All of them are a part of it. Did you become a gospel singer? I did not become a gospel singer, but I definitely am inspired by the inner workings of the heart and human experience. Casey, special shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. If anyone else wants a shout out, just put it in the comments. I can see your name. Life is like gray right now, says Sandra. Yeah, sometimes it is gray. And it'll continue to change. Any new movies with you coming soon? Johnny says, yes, actually, a movie called Mr. Invincible. I'm one of the leads. Comes out, I think, in like September, October. And if this new movie moves forward, I'll be shooting a movie out of the country in, I think, August or September, which would be super exciting. Which words did you know in Spanish? Okay, I might get this incorrectly, but let's say I'm going to buy many things. That would be yo voy a comprar. Is that buy? Many things. Muchas cosas. I don't know if I said that correctly, but some of the words are correct. I'm learning slowly. Jared, thank you so much. I haven't spoken to Missy personally in a while, but I do know a lot of her dancers and team, so we're sort of still connected. Will you ever do a studio album? Cassandra asked. Yes, I have my EP coming out later this year. So my song Woman is out on iTunes. My song Back to Church just came out today, and these are a part of my EP releasing. Hello, Alyson. Can you tell me how to be in a good mood even if your situation is the worst and you're upset? I'm gonna say something, and it might make sense or it might not. If you're not in a good mood, it's okay. Sometimes the days are difficult and hard. Now, it's also very powerful with your mind and your mentality and your attitude to be able to see goodness still and see the bigger picture. And that can help alter your mood for the better. But try not to judge yourself for going through. If you fight against yourself, I think that's almost harder to get out of the mood than just accepting it first and then moving forward. So, all right, you guys, I have to go support my friend at her graduation. Any final words, thoughts, concerns, comments? Thank you so much for tuning in. I see there are so many of you watching. That means a lot. Truly does. Thank you for coming along the journey, for supporting. I don't have many answers in life, but what I'm doing is just trying to be honest about what I'm going through and let that be reflected in my art and let that be something that brings us together so I can hear your perspectives on things. I can learn about life from you and hopefully vice versa. And please, if you haven't, check out my song, Back to Church. The story is not what you think. And it's another side of me. One of the billions. And Ashley, quick shout out to you. Thank you to Sean, you too. Thank you, Danielle. I'll pass that along to Jess. Thanks, Christina. Thank you, Abdi. I'll see you later. Chelsea, love you back. I love all this. Autumn, thank you for the hearts. Felix, Lillian, Emmanuel, so appreciate you. Adam, sounds great. Oh, I love this. Andrew, so glad you like it. Oh, you guys are the best. This is so cool. I'm getting so emotional and this is funny. Much love to you all. Check out the song. Vote for me as the top 25 finalist for Macy's iHeartRadio. You can do that on Twitter. You'll see all the posts about it. Please do. If we win, because the win is all of the team, I get to open Macy's iHeartRadio Festival in the iHeartRadio Festival in Vegas. So, all right, you all, have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Hi, Xander. Hi, Chrissy. Tudorangi. Love all these. The Queen still reigns. Antoine, love it. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Esther. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. We'll see you later.